Okay, world, it's midday 30 New York time. It's 5:30 in the evening UK time on the 6th of May, Wednesday the 6th of May 2015. It's the British general election tomorrow, and I'll do a video in the morning, in the afternoon UK time, mid-morning New York time, on what I think will be the outcome. By tomorrow night we'll know. At the moment, we've got a lovely grand trine in the sky. The moon's in the middle of Sagittarius, trining Jupiter, trining Uranus. I've been speaking to a few clients in the last few days, both here and on Skype all around the world. And there does seem to be some type of strange vibe out there, just since the eclipse of the moon on April the 4th. A number of people all around the world are talking about a new type of energy that's being worked with. Some people are describing this as what they call white horse or unicorn energy, which is a little bit flowery in terms of labelling, but okay, I get where they're coming from. A lot of people are talking to me about how all of a sudden they've got the inclination to use a lot of honey, beeswax, to be working with bee energy. It seems a very strong thing at the moment. There seems to be some type of push towards not so much the more collective or hive mind, but towards people consciously and dynamically working together in the name of a higher energy for the betterment of not just themselves or even just humanity, but the planet as well. Sounds a bit cosmic, I know, but you know what? Seems to me that in the last few years, the patterning in the sky has all been about getting rid of the sharp corners, rounding humanity off, getting it into a much more streamlined, easily flowable space, so that it seems to be being prepared for something specific. As McKenna says, human history represents such a break with the systems of biological organisation that preceded it, that it must be the response to something that lies ahead in the temporal dimensions, pulling us forward like some type of magnet ahead. And it does seem now, if that theory is true, then it does seem as if we're now on that wave, and it is getting faster. And I do expect over the coming 6 to 18 months a significant acceleration in terms of both individual and collective evolution. It's a fascinating time to be alive. Yes, okay, right at the moment, what we've got Mercury square Neptune, Mercury opposite Saturn, Mercury just moving into retrograde shadow. So, this isn't going to clear now until perhaps the solstice. So for the next 5 weeks, we're in a Mercury retrograde shadow. And the difficult one is that it is square Neptune, so it is going to influence people's minds. It is going to bring a sense of the more airy-fairy, the cosmic, the hippy-dippy. But also, if we can reach through those levels of obscurement, those fluffy chewing gum on the outside, if we can get underneath that, we can also find with Mercury and Neptune the aspiration for something far more aesthetic, subtle, refined, artistic, quasi-spiritual, intuitive, sensual, empathic, all connected not just with ourselves and with other people in our environment, but also with the planet. It seems that we're being primed. A lot of people seem to be being turned from what I would call latent into potent. Things are becoming much more proactive. I mean, at the moment, yes, we've got the Saturn-Neptune square brewing, and that's going to have big repercussions later in the year, both in terms of large-scale health issues for a lot of people, but also in terms of the political climate. I witnessed last night the strongly conservative state of Alberta in Canada now moving quite strongly towards the left. And this epitomises what I've been saying for a long time, that the world is now moving left, at least for a year or two. Again, Saturn-Neptune, whenever those two planets come into aspect, the left certainly profits, whereas the right doesn't. The right is much more a kind of Jupiter-Pluto thing, whereas the left is much more Saturn-Neptune. So this doesn't surprise me. The forging of new ties between the US and Cuba, the first ferry's about to start, the upcoming British general election, where you can be sure that the left wing are going to prosper. Whether they're going to achieve a maximum government or not is another matter. More on that one later. But by the end of this year, we're going to be seeing a surge towards the left wing by a good 5 or 10% around the world. I expect Spain to go left, for example. Greece has already gone left. Interesting times. Me, I'm just finishing doing my readings in New York. This is my last day of public readings. I've got a big lecture tomorrow night, and I'm really looking forward to that. And then on Saturday, I'm doing an all-day astrological tips and techniques workshops, and I've been asked by so many people to talk about the asteroids and the void moons, so I'm going to be throwing that in as well. There's still 3 or 4 spaces left on that, so if you want to come to that, I'm in the centre of New York in Manhattan, a day of astrological teachings, tips and techniques. Email me, steve@stevejudd.com. Meantime, today, right now, the moon's at about 15-16 Sagittarius. It's in a glorious position. Moon in Sagittarius is never going to be the most subtle, tactful or diplomatic on the block, but it'll always be the most honest, and generally it's one of the most bouncy. I should know, I've got it in my chart. Alright, that's it for now. I'll do another video later. And Montreal, I'm really sorry, but it is happening. I've got all the details, and I will put up a video on what I'm doing in Montreal within the next 12 hours. Watch this space. Sorry about the delay. Catch you later, folks. Bye.